everyone, my name is Aisha Lachey, and this is going to be a new booktube channel for me. I've been wanting to do one for a while, so I figured I might as well take the jump and get one started. For the first video, I want to do a May TBR, kind of go over like my reading plans for the month and what I'm excited for. I'm going to start off with my fantasy read. I have one, which is The Shadow's Edge by Bent Weeks. It's part of the Night Angel trilogy. It is about assassin, it has intrigue, political stuff. It's just one of my favorite series. I won't go into too much detail because this is the second book in a series, but if you like high fantasy, I definitely suggest Bent Weeks. He has some good books, so I want to get to this one and hopefully the third one so I can start his new book that came out this month. The next book I want to get to is The Only Survivor by Megan Miranda. It's a thriller about a group of teens that survive an accident, and a few of them didn't, and then they get together every year to kind of do a memorial for like their friends, and just get together and kind of like go over their trauma and make sure everyone's okay. And so they meet up this last time, and 2 more people have died since then, so there's kind of like the mystery aspect of that. So I'm excited to see how this one turns out. And for romance, I have about 4. The first one I want to get to is Scarred, which is basically a dark kind of retelling of Scar, and he's like the anti-hero in here, and he gets the girl. So there's like a whole series on this. They do different like fairy tales where the bad boy gets the girl, so I'm excited to start the second one. I read Hooked last year and I really enjoyed it, so this was the next one I wanted to pick up from the author. Another romance that I want to get to is Shadowed Hearts by Candace Wandark. I hope that's how you say it. It is a why choose romance, and all I had to see was murder, payback, and chose. Like, I'm all for that. Like, give me multiple boys, fun, chaotic situations, a snarky, badass female character. I kind of want to go in more blind to this one, so it's kind of all I know about this, but I'm really excited to get to this one. And then I have People We Meet on Vacation. So many people have read this and enjoyed it, and I'm really excited to start it. I figured with it getting warm outside, a summery read would be in the works. I read Book Lovers a few months ago and I absolutely loved it, so I'm hoping I love this one just as much. It's about 2 characters. They go on vacation with each other every year, and then something happens between them one summer, and then they don't go on vacation for a couple years, and this is kind of them after, and we get to kind of find out what happened and if they're going to resolve their issues and problems. So I'm really excited for that. It sounds fun. The next fantasy is going to be The Survivor by J.R. Ward. It is a dark vampire romance. This is like the millionth in the series. There's so many before this, so don't want to go into too much detail, but it's basically a society of vampires, and they have this enemy that they go through, and each one of the books is it's a standalone like romance, but it has an overall arcing plot, so you want to read them in order, but each one follows the different brothers and them getting in relationships with different girls, and you get to follow each character during one book, and from then on you just kind of go to the next one after that, and the overall arching plot is really good. It's a kind of vampire book that like you want to like read and enjoy because they're badass vampires. They don't take anything from anyone. They are just the craziest and funniest characters, and I'm really excited to jump back into this world. And then I have some fantasy romance. I have A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows. This one has been on a lot of book talk, and I've seen it a few times on like YouTube and Instagram, and so I wanted to pick it up. I'm kind of in that fantasy romance era. Like, fantasy has been my go-to, so fantasy and romance are definitely the perfect mix. I want to go into this one more blind than anything, so I just kind of read the basic stuff when I first put it on my TBR, but I had kind of forgotten since then, so I don't really want to like refresh it because I just kind of want to go in surprised. So we'll see how I like this one, and hopefully I do, because there's another one in this series that I'll get if I do like this one. And next up is a Wings Once Cursed and Bound. I actually found this at Walmart the other day, and I was super excited because I've been looking for like the fantasy romance vibes, and I saw this on the shelf, and so I picked it up and read the back, and it's definitely something I would like. One of the main lines on the back is, "My wings unbound, I am the bird princess. I am the Kinkare, and no matter the cost, I will be freed." And that just sold me. It's about a girl living in Seattle, and there's just like a magical world that she never knew about, and it's a romance with her and a vampire, and he kind of shows her the ins and outs of like the world, like the supernatural world, because she never knew it existed. So you get the romance and you get to see her explore like all the supernatural stuff around Seattle. And I used to live like 6 hours away from Seattle, so having stuff in Seattle is kind of fun, because I know the city and I've been there a lot, so getting to see stories set there, it just makes them a little bit more enjoyable. And the last one I want to get to is Glint by Raven Kennedy. I read the first book last month and I really loved it, and it was Guild. It's a King Midas retelling. The main female lead in this is all made out of gold, and she's the king's prized possession, and to create a treaty and like a war pact with another kingdom right next to his to go after another kingdom, he basically makes a deal where the king or lord of that area gets to have the main character for one night, and you kind of see what goes from there and see what all transpires. But the first book was amazing and I really loved it, so I'm super excited to get into this one. And we'll see how the story continues. I'm hoping this one has a little bit more, because at the beginning of the first one you have all the world building and character building, so I have a feeling this one I'll like a little bit better than the first, just because we're already going to be in the world and we know the characters, and so I'm just hoping that this one has a lot of like action and like more romance than the first one did. And that is basically all for my May TBR. I'm hoping to get to all of them. I probably won't, depending on my mood or how I feel, how much work I need to get done, so we'll kind of see there. For this channel, I'm kind of planning on just doing like fun reading updates. I want to do some like vlogs, maybe like a 24-hour readathon, maybe some weekly vlogs, book recommendations, and definitely more TBRs and wrap-ups. So if you enjoyed this, definitely hit the subscribe button, comment. I am definitely down to make as many new book friends as possible, and I hope you have a great day.